In 2025, I really want to revisit some of my favorite hobbies from when I was a kid. And I've always loved reading books, but I usually read on my Kindle. And so I feel like, I don't know, sometimes I feel weird talking about books on my channel because I don't have physical books to show you guys. I feel like it's just not as fun. I just miss having physical books to flip through and have on my shelf. If I miss the characters in a book, that I can just like feel like I feel more connected with like a physical copy sometimes. The Kindle is really handy for me because I like to read at night in the dark so I don't keep my boyfriend up. But yes, I have so many books to open with you guys. I went down a rabbit hole of ordering a bunch of really cute special edition books, and then also just some books by authors I know I really love. I feel like if a book is made into a special edition, it's for a good reason because it has a cult following. So the two books that I read at the end of the year were going to be a part of this haul. So I'm gonna just show you guys those two books because they're so good. A lot of these books will be contemporary romance, but I read the Caraval series and I was really never drawn to these books until I became kind of obsessed with the idea of like magic and a carnival and fragrance. And then I was like, wait, that book is about carnival and I think I'm like really in the mood for something magical. And you guys, these books are such an escape. I think I've read the first one in like one day. That never happens for me, especially something that's like fantasy. And sometimes fantasy is really hard for me to follow just with all the action, the names, the places. I just can't always keep up, but this just stayed on topic. I feel like a lot of the reviews I saw on Goodreads have an opposite rating scale than me, but I thought the first one was a 5-star. I thought the second one was a 4-star, and then finale, I wasn't loving it at that point because I just loved everything that happened in the first book so much. But basically it's about these two sisters. So the first book is about the first sister, the second sister, and then everybody is in the third book. Once a year there's a game that's ran by Legend in the Caraval universe, and you can win one wish. Like it says on the book, remember, it's only a game, y'all. It's only a game. So it says, remember, it's only a game. What happens beyond this gate may frighten you or excite you, but don't let any of it trick you. And I loved how this was fast paced because a lot of other fantasy books, I'm like, okay, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Like other fantasy books spend so much time setting up the scene that I just can't stay focused. So I just loved all the twists and turns. I just felt like I never knew what was happening. I just had to keep reading. Stephanie Garber has such vivid imagery. It feels like you're almost there too, tasting magic, smelling the magic, enjoying the magic. Like I love this series so much. So yeah, even though you know it's a game, you still are like, wait, what's happening? Do I trust them? Did that really just happen? The author Stephanie, she is so creative, and I cannot wait to read, I think it's Once Upon a Broken Heart, which is in one of these packages, so we'll open that as well. I got the UK version of them. The book that really made me fall back in love with reading again was Heartless by Elsie Silver. I've read a few Elsie Silver books, and I love like the Chestnut Springs universe. Literally just makes you want to throw on cowgirl boots and just be a hot cowgirl. I like that the girls are always relatable and normal and like not doing weird, embarrassing things in these books. There's only like a handful of books that I've read where I actually feel sad and depressed after because I miss the characters so much. This is like close proximity, age gap. Will is this little spitfire that ends up working for Cade as his nanny. He's like a little unsure of her because he's very protective of his son. I love that she stays so true to who she is. Like they're such lovable characters. He can be a little annoying at times. If you like a man that takes the lead, I feel like you'd really enjoy this. If that bothers you, if you want like equality, that might piss you off. You know what, let me just read what it says here because I think she does a pretty good job explaining it. Also, I got this cute little bookmark from my library because I always take Ocean to the library. Cade Eaton barely looks my way until I get him into the hot tub for a night of a game of truth or dare. Then all bets are off, and so are our clothes. It's pretty steamy, y'all. He's gruff, a little rough around the edges. And oh yeah, one more thing. Spice can make me want to crawl out of my skin sometimes. I just have to skim it, or like I want to throw the book. But the spice in this, I was like, okay, Cade, if there's gonna be spice in a book, I want it to be spicy. I don't want it to make me cringe. I want the guy to take control. There are a few chapters where I'm like, damn, how much spice are you gonna put in there? But because it was done well, it didn't bother me. So just think anything by Elsie Silver is so perfect for spring and summer when you just want to feel like the summer country vibes. Also, before I forget, while I was in my childhood room, I reread some of the Click series, like Claire. Do any of you guys remember that? If this video gets to anyone that's also into reading or grew up reading these books, because I know these were super popular, the author is coming out with the adult version of the Click series, so I'm like, I have to read it. Like, I read all the books when I was younger, and I feel like I just have to read that. So I have no idea when that's coming out, but I just had to tell someone. So moving more into the book haul and what's on my TBR, Sally Rooney is such a good author for when you kind of need a palate cleanse from too much romance. Like, she never makes me roll my eyes. She has really interesting dialogue between the characters, and it just feels like you're inside their heads. She's the one who wrote Conversations with Friends, Normal People. This is her new book. She just creates such likable, unique characters. Her writing style and dialogue between the characters reminds me of how I would talk with my friends in my early 20s, and just like a good feel-good read for me. I really like the cover of this one too. This one is about two brothers that are grieving and they both fall in love. That will be interesting as a girl a part of the grief squad. I love the baby pink packaging this comes in, but this is 1,000 boy kisses and 1,000 broken pieces. These are YA, and I feel like I had tried to listen to this on audio and I wasn't enjoying it, so I feel like I remember not loving the writing style, but I also don't know if it was just who was reading it. I've seen so many people react to 1,000 boy kisses just bawling their eyes out on TikTok, and sometimes I'm in the mood for a good emotional read, so I also feel like this could be just like an easy read. Let me know if you guys have read this. I'm expecting this to be like a very innocent type of love, but I'm scared that the writing style might drive me crazy, so let me know. Ordered a bunch of books from a UK website, Blackwell's. They usually have a better price on special edition books, especially the Magnolia Parks series. So if you ever want to order the Magnolia Parks series, order them from Blackwell's. Yeah, I don't know which one of these are the special editions, but that's what I'm hoping pops up first. Okay. I manifested that. So this is the Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home. I'm gonna wait till I have all three out of their packages before I start flipping through them. This is just a work of art and I needed to have this on my bookshelf. Look at all these details. All of her covers are always just so magical and whimsical, and I love them. I always say that the Magnolia Parks series kind of reminds me of like a London version of Gossip Girl. With this series, I don't necessarily like the characters, but I love her writing style, and I feel like it's relatable of like how heart-wrenching and complicated relationships can be in your 20s. Look how beautiful this is. So this is by the same author of the Caraval series. This is Stephanie Garber, and I guess these are an addition to those books that you're supposed to read Caraval first and then start the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So I think I have one more from her, so I'm gonna wait to have that out as well. I also ordered some of the Magnolia Parks original covers. These covers are just art. I don't know why they ever changed them. They're now like girls like laying down with their feet in the air, and it's just, nothing will ever compare to these covers. So put all of those together. Oh, does the special edition ones have a little bookmarker? These special editions are just so beautiful. I hope she keeps them available forever so that everyone can get their hands on these. This is so exciting. The special editions are all the Magnolia Parks series, and I tried reading Daisy Hates when I was in a reading slump. Really didn't even give it a chance. I think I read like 40 pages, and I feel like you really have to like get through that first 100, and then you know like if it's something you're gonna like. But yeah, 2025, I really want to commit to finishing the Magnolia Parks series. People literally get tattoos of these books. She has such a beautiful, I forgot the inside is so pretty, but the writing style is so like whimsical and romantic. Okay, I need a second. Just like this is what I mean of like, this makes me feel like a kid again, opening a book and being so excited and falling into this new world. But and you guys may have heard this voiceover on TikTok and been like, what is this from? It's from Magnolia Park. It starts with, how many loves do you get in a lifetime? How many people do you get to call yours? There are all sorts of loves in the world, not all of them, but most of them are beautiful. Some are old, some are noble, some brave. Others are dishonorable and weak and make you so by association. Some are a low whisper on a somber night. Some are maddening. Some you can't ignore. The slow burn inside of you, never quite going out completely, but you're too scared to dare to try to fan that flame. Some loves you pretend you don't feel, even when you can, even when you know you do, even if he's the first thing you think of in the morning, even if he's like the match in the darkened room of your heart. Because loving something how you love him is a painful love that puts rocks in your pockets and melancholy in your eyeballs, and if time has taught you anything, it's that it doesn't matter. You'll love him forever anyways. So that kind of gives you an idea of her writing style. I feel like the biggest issue I had with actually finishing this series is that I wasn't reading the book all at once. I think I was breaking it up too much. And when you do that, I feel like you can't enjoy the book the way it's meant to be enjoyed. So I want to actually sit down and try to dive into it as much as I can all at once. I really like Jessa Hastings. I also read a Peter Pan retelling from her. That one was okay. If you guys are also obsessed with Emmy Lawless, she's the illustrator of the Magnolia Parks series, so she did the first books and the special edition covers. And I just thought this phone case was so just beautiful for the spring. I also picked up this aluminum bookmark from her. It's a little bit smaller than I expected it to be, but I like that it will like hold up really well, so I'm confused. Is this it? I picked up more books in these series, but I guess this is the only one I picked up. I think this might be like the second. 2 villains, 1 girl, and a deadly battle for happily ever after. So this is a trilogy. I don't know what this is about, but I know I love Stephanie Garber, so I know I'm gonna enjoy this. I forgot I ordered the physical copies of one of my favorite series. So since reading these, I've read a lot of different books, and I don't know if I would still enjoy it the same way I did back then. You know what? I think I would. I kind of wish I could reread this for the first time. This is the Simple Wild series by K.A. Tucker, and I'm like, am I crazy for loving this series because I don't know why they're not more viral? So the series is about Calla and Jonah. Calla is kind of an annoying character. She's like a little city girl from Canada, and she goes to visit Alaska to see her family for the first time. As much as I love Calla and Jonah together, that isn't what made me fall in love with these books. It's the sense of community. I love when a book makes you kind of rethink the way you live your life. As soon as I finished the series, I booked a cabin trip for my boyfriend and I, and that's actually where I took my pregnancy test and found out I was pregnant. I also really love the aspect of like family isn't always blood. Sometimes family is chosen, and community is so important. This is like the first series that I read when I was getting into reading, so I wrote my like morals of the story was swallow your pride, take chances, community, give people chances. I have no idea what Lightlark is about, but when I saw this box, I was like, you're coming home with me. This is so beautiful. Says there are lies and liars all around you. I am scared that this is a book I might have a hard time keeping up with. Whenever there's a map, I instantly feel like a child again as well. So you guys that are into fantasy, you're probably like, yeah girl, we got all the maps. So what is this about? Thank God she puts the curses and powers in one spot, because that's when I'm like, okay, I forgot what this is, I forgot what that is, and now I feel completely lost. Like I need extra help when I'm reading books like this. It says every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears to host Sentinat. I don't know how to say that. It already has begun. A deadly game that only the ruler of 6 realms are invited to play. Okay, this is kind of giving like Hunger Game vibes. So each ruler has something to hide. Oh man, I think there's gonna be a lot for me to keep up with. Let me know if you guys have read this, because if I really need to pay attention, I will dedicate a day to like really highlight and follow along. But I feel like that one's gonna be tricky for me. Another fantasy, I picked up The Cruel Prince. It says that this is a trilogy filled with twists and enchantment as one girl learns the meaning of true power. If you guys have read both of these, let me know which one I should try first. I feel like I'm one of the only people who hasn't read Beach Read. I read another book by Emily Henry that I didn't like. Okay, so I had also read Happy Place by Emily Henry. I didn't really like the writing style. I thought there was a few like cute quotes. Like at the very end, I felt like all of a sudden like a different author came in and there was like better quotes. I don't know, it felt really drawn out and I didn't feel connected to the characters, but this special edition is gorgeous and I thought this would be fun to pick up in the spring and summer. It says this is a tender, thoughtful, and very fun book. It's not only convincing, but infectious. I love a feel-good book. Augustus Everett is an acclaimed author, so she meets a guy that's polar opposite. In fact, the only thing they have in common is that for the next 3 months, they're living in a neighboring beach house. Ooh, I love close proximity. Sometimes I feel like the best friend's brother other trope is just too overdone. So I like when it's just like close proximity for something that actually makes sense. I really like the inside, and it says, "I feel overwhelmed that you exist." I feel like this will have good quotes in it. Yeah, I feel like this is a better place to start with Emily Henry because I think she's known for this book the most. Also, did anyone read Milk and Honey growing up? They have this special edition. It was like $10 at Target, so I picked it up. Something like this is nice to read outside on the patio and kind of make you think deeper about things. Like, this will be good to have when I'm journaling. Icebreaker also came out with this really gorgeous special edition. I picked this up before Christmas. I just thought it was so beautiful. I thought this was a really cute hockey romance. I think I gave it like 4 stars. I don't remember everything correctly, but I feel like I liked that she was kind of like me in the sense that I'm really bad at accepting help. I hope I have the right book with that, but I think that that was this one. Oh, I also picked up another book from Elsie Silver that's not in the Chestnut Springs universe, or maybe this still is, I'm not sure. He's never had a problem with keeping things professional with his employees until she waltzed in and onto his property. Billy is talented, whip smart, sassy, and so damn tempting. She and Vaughn clash from the moment they meet, but he can't stop thinking about her. And in a small town, an even smaller farm, it's hard to keep their distance, even harder to keep their friction from turning into fire. Billy Black is the whole package and possibly the only one who can save Vaughn's business and him. If you're ever in a reading rut with contemporary romance, pick up an Elsie Silver book. I also decided to pick up this special edition in a jam by Kate Canterbury. So this one says, "My world started and ended with her, sitting beside me on those dark morning rides to school, and it started up all over again when I found her on my farm." This just must be a rekindling of a childhood romance, and it looks like it will be a quick read too. Oh, maybe not. Still 400 pages. I was fooled. Apart from the Magnolia Parks special editions, I think this is my favorite box that comes with the books that I picked up. Like, this is so beautiful. It says, "Mr. and Miss Costa, you will forever be my perfect dark Romeo." So this is about an arranged marriage of a billionaire, and I don't really know what else. It says it's about a cruel billionaire and a feisty heiress. I'm guessing they fall in love, but wow, this is so beautiful. A lot of these books are just a work of art on their own, so I cannot wait to organize my bookshelf. Oh, I feel like reading this is gonna be so much fun. I feel like every time I get to a new chapter, it feels like I've accomplished something, and like having a fun little page like this makes it even more fun. So this is about a like cruel billionaire and arranged marriage with like his sassy wife. So we will see. I thought that this might be like a retelling, but I'm not sure. Just look. This one says, "Dragons are extinct, witches are an outcast, but magic lives." This is A Fire in the Sky by Sophie Jordan. These sprayed edges are actually really cool. Okay, I think I'm starting to get the sprayed edges, but it has this art on the inside. Dragonfire no longer blisters the skies over Pentra. Tasman is more than a false wife of a man who sees her as an enemy, and when those secrets emerge, they will ignite a flame bright enough to burn the entire kingdom to the bone. I like magical books a lot more than like the Hunger Game vibe. So, okay, I found the other book that I thought I also ordered from Blackwell's, but I ordered a paperback and a hardback. They do not like correlate. That's gonna drive me crazy, but I'm just gonna look past that for the moment. I'm so happy that I have a book that I know I love the writing style, and the cover is also just gorgeous. So this is A Curse for True Love by Stephanie Garber. Honestly, you guys, I didn't even pick up the first book because I'm probably just gonna read that on my Kindle. I liked the colors on these two the most. So my like definite 2025 TBR, I definitely want to read this series, the Magnolia Parks series, probably all of the Chestnut Springs series, and a Sally Rooney book for sure. And I don't know how many of these ones. I think the Emily Henry one will also be a good summer read. So thank you so much if any of you guys clicked on this video, even though I don't usually make book content. Definitely a mood reader and mood posting right now. I've just fallen back in love with reading, and sometimes I just want friends to talk about it with. So if you guys have read any of these books, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, I've also been really wanting to start a book club. So if any of you guys would want to join a book club, let me know and we can pick a book. Yeah, if any of you guys on my channel are watching this and you're not really into reading, make a reading goal of even just like one book this year. I just feel like reading has been such a good escape for me when I'm feeling down, and I just want you guys to experience that too. So yeah, I know this was a switch up in content, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!